What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Grand Scheme. This is Gran here, smoking it down live on this Tuesday evening. Chris, first in the chat. Sammy, what's up, man? William Soto, Easy Marvel Plays, Jay Red Dragon. How you guys doing today? Not sure what we got going on. I was hoping that the contest would be back up and running by now. It's been down for an hour, so man, it's got to be just any minute now. But man, what are we going to do in the meantime? Lord Hibby, what's up? Another Wormax stream? I don't know, man. I don't know. Trying to cut back on my Wormax. That stuff's... Alright, sorry about that. We are back. I knew I was going to do it. Knew I'd forget to reset the FPS before I hit stream. Shabam Duda, welcome. Tanu Sin will be available after 1 hour, bro. It's been an hour. It has been an hour. I certainly hope it's not another hour. Stephen Hill, what's up, man? Paul Russ, have a dance-off. Alright, you go first. Game usually comes up at this hour, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Right at about 11 o'clock. Usually it's... anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour, but taking a little bit long tonight. But anyway, sorry about the little interruption there in the stream. I reset the FPS to 60 to record, and I've been telling myself all day, remember to change that back to 30 before you live stream, and sure enough, I forgot. Send somebody a request in game. Can't wait for the new event quest tomorrow. Yeah, man, it looks good. I'm hoping that we get some new side quests, some dimensional rifts, something to go along with that with the introduction of 6 stars. Yeah, the mail always says it can be up to 2 hours, but it's rarely. I don't think I've ever seen it. Maybe one time in the last 2 years do I remember it being close to 2 hours. Would you rather have 705-star shards or an awakened 4-star Psylocke? I'd rather have the 705 shards because my Psylocke is already awakened. Yeah, definitely 705-star shards. I would show you my Psylocke if I could, but alas, Gran got a 100,000 worm and the game died on me. Did it die? I was in Joel's stream just the last few minutes and I saw that you had the top spot. What happened? Did that game crash too? Have they gone the way of the Kabam servers? So I guess we can talk about a few different things here. I'm going to pull up, this is the new event quest. There's nothing really special about this. Other than they go into a little bit more depth than they usually do on the new champions in the event quest announcement. This, and maybe we can talk about the leaked abilities if the game doesn't come out very soon. But one of the things, I've been looking forward to Blade. He is an interesting character. I'm not sure how strong he's going to be, but these two lines here intrigue me. Blade can generate power when nearby bleeding opponents. His signature ability, Vampiric Immortality, allows him to use power to heal during a fight. So, I mean, if he bleeds like Gwenpool bleeds, he should be gaining power pretty strongly. And then to be losing that power to heal himself, if he is a Mystic on top of that running Mystic Dispersion, his power meter might be a bit tricky to manage. How was your day? It was pretty good, man. Pretty good. Not very eventful, but got to sleep in a little bit, and then just did some odd jobs for work, making phone calls and stuff most of the day. The Grand Scheme stream at MCOC is getting moderated. Just randomly closed down on me, got back in, was dead. Yeah, all that hard work just flushed down the toilet. Bring back more 5-star shards next month. That would be nice. Yeah, that power gain plus the Mystic Dispersion should make his power gain pretty crazy, but then it consumes his own power to regenerate. And if that is just like a random consuming of his power, if it's not something you can control, that I can see a scenario in which you could get in trouble with that. Imagine you're in a position where you need to throw a special attack, and right before you do so, he consumes his own power to regenerate, and your special attack isn't there, and you're open for a counterattack. Might be a mess. Have a reason not to play today. What's that, Tony? Pastor Sammy Squad. What's up, Sammy and Zerov? Good to see you, fellas. And then this thing called persistent charges, where they carry over from fight to fight. I think this is promising, but I think if any, it's a shame that I think this way with any of these updates now. But I think if anywhere there's an opportunity for bugs to be introduced in the game, this would be it. To introduce an element that carries over on a champion from fight to fight. That's gonna be interesting. Dobre LTE in the house as well. Anyway, other than that, not a whole lot. Not sure about this Lost Souls thing. This is kind of like the Ghost Rider event quest where you had those linked, what was it, chained soul boosts, or linked chain, or linked soul, something like that, boosts. Other than the jokes going around, the Kabam has finally made a way for people actually to sell their soul to the game. Where did that go? Ah, another way to get Lost Souls besides defeating the event quest bosses. Yes, but not without a hefty price. You can sell your summoner's soul and maybe get a interesting title at the end of it. But other than that, I mean, the rewards are pretty much the same. Nothing extravagant there. What do you guys think? Initial impressions on these new champions based on this and maybe the leaked abilities? Continuing to hit that reconnect button on the game, and hopefully that's going to come up pretty soon. Classic Spider-Man's SP2, albeit with no status effects, is a beast in raw damage. Yes, it is. There's a very strong special attack. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, they posted tonight about the war. War changes. Whole lot of talk here on this post to basically say they have done two things. They have reduced defender diversity points from 125 to 50 points per defender, and then they've buffed a few nodes which aren't really amazing buffs. Still nothing nearly as difficult as what it used to be. Hopefully Blade is skill. I doubt it. I know that the bleed is more of a skill type thing, but the way, I mean, he's dropped in there with several clearly Mystic champions, and the language that they're using to describe him is Mystic. He has all of his synergies besides the one with Stark Spidey or with Mystics. Yeah, war changes, no real changes. I mean, this is, I mean, we're on expert, so we're looking at, let's see, recovery 50% to 100%. You got a special lock 1, no big deal. Especially for champions that you're just going to use S1 anyway, mostly like Hawkeye or Rogue maybe. 200% health boost instead of 100%. 40% enhanced armor. Attack boosts, champion boost. I mean, the most difficult thing here that I see on these increases is that we have now 2 nodes in War instead of 1 on the previous map, where you have an enhanced special 2, unblockable special 2. But that's not much of a challenge. Plagued Mind, Pessimist, Stun Immunity, Rolling Thunder, Limber. But nothing here from Act 5. You would think that they would be able to implement some of those new dynamics into some of these nodes here, but nothing there. So I don't see how this is going to really add anything to that aspect of the game to fix the issues that we've been discussing. We won our last war by less than 200 points, and the other alliance died 60 times. We lost our last war by about 1,000 points, and the other team died more than we did. By 1. But it was MMXIV, so, you know, what do you say? So pissed off I am legit swearing at a Power Rangers mobile app. Well, that's your problem, man. Don't mess with the Power Rangers mobile app. Doc82, what's up, Granddaddy? Not much, man. Just trying to kill some time here, waiting for the game to come back up. Thought we'd shoot the breeze about some of this Defender, or some of this AW changes in the new event quest. But it kind of backfires when there's nothing to say. No power start 2, enhanced special 2. Literally all the nodes require you to get hit to actually be challenging. Yes, that's true, Cameron. I didn't even think of that. At least on the old map, the enhanced special 2 had a power start 2, right? Yeah, so, I mean, you come in here with Hawkeye even, and they're not even going to get to L2. A magic, I mean, it's not even, you could still bait out SP1s from these special 2 bias nodes too if you needed to, but a magic theoretically you could get, especially if you're running Mystic Dispersion, you can get to L2 before they do, so nothing terribly challenging there. Q-Bug, what's up? Didn't know you stream? Yes, sir. Almost every night. Lucked out majorly. Injustice 2 Mobile got featured gold character first try. I have no idea what that means, Tony the Ham Man. I've never played Injustice 2. We're going on 80 minutes of the contest being down. You went through the new champs yet? No, we just looked at the event quest thing. I'll tell you what, Cameron, if you're available, if you want to hop on Skype with me, we can go over the new champs. Might as well, since the contest is down, and you're making the rounds of jumping on being commentators on streams here. Thanks, Q-Bug. Becoming bored with this daily arena milestone grind. Have no goal anymore. Want to R4 a champ to do Labyrinth. But out of 9, 5 stars, none are viable. Don't want to do 4-star Starlord. I get you, man. I get you there. Hang on, Cameron. Let me... I'll wait for my Skype to come up here. I'll message you online. Hang on, guys. I'm going to try to get Cameron on the line here. We'll go over these new champion abilities. Maybe. If I put the right login information. Might just watch streams to chill and chat and do AQ and AW and that's it. I understand, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Doc82, new sponsor. Thank you, man. Got my OBS covered up, so I don't know if the if that notification popped up there. You'll have to let me know. Alright, hang on, guys. We're trying to get Cameron on the line here. Should they buff Carnage? Yeah. Alright, Cameron, pick up. What's up, Steiny? Unless you get to play them, no way of knowing whether they'd be good or not. Right, exactly. What's up, dude? Alright, Cameron's not answering. We'll try him again in just a second. In the meantime, let me see if I can get the proper link opened. You see it? Did you see it? You saw it pop up there? Very good. It's got a sound to it as well, but I didn't hear it come on. Crimson Fog, what's up, man? Perfect time to brush up on your Harlem Shake. I gotta YouTube that. Ah, here we go. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Let me check the settings here. Okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me? All right, let me get you on the OBS. All right, people should be able to hear you now.
Oh yes, how's it going?
You guys hear Cameron all right? Do I need to turn the music down maybe a little bit? Let's see. Do you have the link for just the Google Doc? I could probably find it on my history.
Looking for it right now. JJW.
Q-Bug, I just turned it down. Let me know if it's still too loud.
Oh no, the stream went down.
Oh, I just noticed that. Yeah, it just said disconnected, but it's reconnected now. I think my computer just might have been confused because it popped open in the wrong browser, and I was opening it a different one and forcing it closed and all this other stuff. So anyway, all right, let me catch up on the chat here.
Yep.
First, with the contest down, it's time to work on a new overlay. Very cool. Cool, Steiny. Maybe with max suicides and getting Ultron to a maxed out 565, he can do Labyrinth somewhat okay. Well, better than he would at a 455 for sure. Still don't know that I would choose him over Star-Lord, but I mean, it's not going anywhere, Alex. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be there for a while. Man,
an Ultron run with Ultron, a Labyrinth run with Ultron. That's going to be painful.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather do it with a 565 Ultron than on those fights that you need him for, right? Than a 550 Ultron, of course. So
yeah.
So what do you think of? First of all, I mean, are there any of these champions, the Blade, Mephisto, Morningstar, that stand out to you as more promising than the others?
Well, I feel like we can only really comment on Mephisto and Morningstar because we don't know anything about Blade and like his numbers, because Blade can be extremely good, like 1 pool level good.
Yep.
Because if that bleed is good and that ability accuracy reduction is good, he can be super useful in so many different situations. And if that
Doc82 at $20, first super chat of the night. Thanks, Doc. Some love for the 4Loki duo. You and Cam needed some of the super chat hype in return. Thanks, man. We'll get you up on the screen.
I still haven't heard Doc82's voice.
I'm gonna get him on the screen one of these nights on the stream here. We've talked about it.
I wonder. I always think of him as sounding like Alfred from the Dark Knight movies. Oh yeah.
Is he British? Are you British, Doc?
You
served in the 82nd, right? I mean, so he's got to be. You're American, but. Anyway. So the thing about Blade, though, ability and accuracy reduction, great, but it's only against, first off, like dimensional beings, and then with one synergy, it's expanded to the Mystic class, and with another synergy, it's expanded to all villains.
Yeah.
So it's not 100% across the board like Gwenpool is, though.
Is it just defensive ability accuracy reduction or offensive as well?
Yeah, it's let's see, pull that up. Danger Sense. When against dimensional beings, Danger Sense activates, grants Blade attack rating, whatever the number is, while also reducing opponent's ability accuracy. So it's both. It would be offensive and defensive ability accuracy.
So I feel that's pretty good versus a Juggernaut.
Oh yeah.
They prevent him from like proccing Unstoppable, and versus a Dormammu. But it all depends on what the number is. If the number is 30%,
right?
I'd rather power control Dormammu and make sure he doesn't like get me to dash back. Then
Is that Cameron? Yes, that's Kamran Fathi. I'm going to put your name on the screen too. Sorry about that. Okay, so the big question is, what is a dimensional being?
Dormammu and Mephisto.
Okay, but so when I first read that, I thought anybody that uses a dimensional portal, so Doctor Strange would be in there, and Voodoo and Magic, but that's not how you read that.
the person who wrote the document commented on it and said Dormammu and Mephisto. I guess it's like the categorization of the champs, dimensional or something. I'm not sure.
So if you go in, so this might be like a hashtag under their categories. Okay, gotcha. So theoretically, Danger Sense then might only apply against two beings right now.
Yeah.
Which is not that good.
And then we have the Mystics. So we have Magics, we have Mordos, we have Dormammus, we have the Juggernauts.
Yeah.
So those are the main defenders that might cause a problem. But then again, defense doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right, but you'd have to put him with Mephisto or Dormammu for that.
Yeah. And then there's the villains, and that one even like intrigues me even less because you set Juggernaut aside, you set Dormammu aside, you set Mordo aside, and then all the villains you're left with is like Ultron,
Ronan, Venom, and Electro,
and like there is counters.
Right. Mario 12, what's up? How many dimensional beings are there? Serious question, no idea. Doctor, we just answered that one. Is Cameron in for Loki? Yes, he is. Okay, well, but with that synergy, I mean, I think I would rather run that synergy with the all-villain champions than the Demon Hunter synergy with Mephisto or Dormammu, which is all Mystic champions. Because you can counter magic pretty well with Pacify Mastery, which is what I do, and it's pretty effective if you can just get her L1, get her to use her L1.
Yeah.
But with I use Ghost Rider. I don't know if you or I think you use Ghost Rider in Alliance Quest, right? All the time. Yep. But I use Ghost Rider everywhere I can use him. And so this, depending on what that increased percentage chance is to place a judgment, and then...
Ghost Rider not placing judgments is like the most annoying thing.
Yeah, it is. It's really crazy. I fought a Vision yesterday, and I think I went 6 judgments in a row without placing anything.
The same thing happened to me yesterday versus a Stun Immune Juggernaut in Section 2 of AQ, and that fight is crazy. That Juggernaut has 20 KPI. He was hitting like crazy. I'm trying to get my SP1 Fate Seal on him to prevent some unstoppables and build up some judgments, but it just didn't want to happen for 5 continuous times.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad the force close bug is still there. Next round, reset, everything was fine.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and I did it because I'm running Suicides right now. So every time I throw an L1 to try to place that judgment, I'm, taking the recoil damage. And so I lost half my health just trying to place the judgments, and then I just said, yeah, forget this. Force close, restart, do it again, and it worked fine. But yeah, that was a mess.
It takes a lot of courage to run Suicides in Map 6.
I still run Section 1 and 2 and most of Section 3 with him. I do every fight with Ghost Rider except for Poison, Vision, and Luke Cage. And I go between... I usually use Hyperion for those, but then I also bring Iceman as backup in case I lose Ghost Rider, like I did today, actually, to Iron Man's L2 in Section 1 of Map 5. Gotta be kidding me. What's up, Hector?
I do like using him I do like using any Mystics versus Luke Cage. He procs so many physical resistances, and they're all power. So much power.
Yeah. I've not been running MD though recently because I need to run. I ran into so many magics on my former path in Alliance War, and I was down to the point I was only placing 1 Mystic champion on defense, and so it wasn't worth it for me to put all those points in Mystic Dispersion.
Yeah.
And so I ended up maxing Pacified to deal with magic, and running max suicides, or if I'm not running suicides, I'll run maxed deep wounds and assassins. So just didn't have the points to put in there. But yeah, I know what you're saying there.
Yeah.
That's, I used to do that with Magic against some of those. Back in the day when we were running like map 3, I think it was. This is like a year ago when they had Groot as the mini boss on map 3.
Oh yes.
Yep. Just cycle through L3s with him like crazy.
Man, Groot being mini boss in map 3, it caused so many people to rank so many Scarlet Witches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Force close is going to be gone. It's going to be gone tomorrow. It might be gone. Yeah, it might be. Yep, as soon as with the update. Hector's got a question for you there.
Is that yeah. I mean, with Ghost Rider versus, that particular fight, you want to get the Fate Seal on, and you think that since Juggernaut is a villain, you have an extra chance to get that on, but
Yeah.
Oh, Pacify is incredible, man. Pacify, you save so much resources just get running Pacify versus Magic, Electro. Even more though, it sometimes prevents him from astral evading, and it's just a huge lifesaver.
Oh yeah, I've even had I fought an Iron Man and a superior Iron Man in the last 24 hours, and neither one of them procced Arc Overload, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm not running Assassin. I'm using Spider-Man or somebody else that doesn't have ability accuracy reduction. What in the world is going on? And then I realized I think I had him parry stunned when I pushed him across that mark. Neither one of them triggered it. So the thing with Pacify, Hector, is, I use it for Magic. Magic has a much lower percentage chance to proc Limbo on her L1 than she does on her L2. And so if I can prevent her from getting to L2, I'm usually okay. 8 times out of 10, she won't proc Limbo on her L1. But if I get her to L2 and I try it, probably 2 times out of 10, it'll be successful.
Sometimes with Pacify on the L1, she procs it, but she doesn't do damage to it.
Yep, and I've even found, actually, I don't know if you've seen this, the last couple of days, I have her stunned while her Limbo wears off, and she does not recover the health.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen that happen before.
That also happens. That happens a lot of times when I'm running Magics in Labyrinth versus Ant-Man. Yep. You never recover any health. And you never power drain either, so it's a fun time.
Yep.
But one more thing about Blade. I find it very interesting about his design that for his region of the signature ability to trigger and be at full potency, you want to have the opponent bleeding.
Yeah.
And unless one of the specials, maybe a special one, or whichever one of the specials, has a super long bleed, like a 30-second bleed, I don't see you ever be able to have like absolute max potency of the region, because you're gonna need quite a bit of power, which is gonna be all drained.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna need them to be bleeding.
Right.
It's just like a checks and balances system, I feel.
Right. Michael Mariscal, welcome to the chat. Took a 10,000 SP1 from Symbiote on map 5. Yeah. Map 5 can wreck you. Doob says Pacify is great for Magic. Basically, the only reason I run it is for her. Yes. Daniel, Pacify is the last mastery on the utility tree, of the bottom part of the utility tree, and it reduces the ability accuracy of the opponent while they are stunned. So my thought on Blade, I'm intrigued by him. I've been thinking, I've never opened a feature 5-star before because I want to dupe Star-Lord. I don't want to open 2 feature crystals when I can open 3 basics, and have that third chance to get Star-Lord. But I've really been toying with the idea of going for him since I got the 5-star Mystic Awakening gem. But this whole power gain while they're bleeding, power gain while I think it's not just while they're bleeding, but
off the SP2.
SP2, yeah, that's what I saw. But it's the for each bleed inflicted, he instantly gains that bar of power. Plus, he's constantly gaining power while they're bleeding. Plus, if he is Mystic, which he likely is, you run a Mystic Dispersion. He's gonna be a crazy power gain champion.
Yeah, I would like.
But then he's gonna also be consuming his own power to heal himself. And just the thought of how in the world are you gonna manage this power meter could get tricky.
So I would love him to be Mystic, because Mystic Dispersion makes every Mystic character just like 10 times better than their like counterparts in any other class. But I feel he does have some science aspects to it, like his debuff shrugging reminds me of Tenacity, and Tenacity is a skill category in this game, I guess. I don't understand why, but
and the heavy bleed is skill usually as well.
And the heavy bleed is also skill, and the ability reduction is also skill. But at the same time, he has power gain, and he has regen. So those things, they have never been in skill.
So do you think there's a possibility he's going to be, since his backstory is he's a hybrid? Do you think this is another 2-class champion?
I don't think Kabam really cares about backstory.
Yeah. I mean, clearly on some of them they don't, but I mean we have Karnak. I mean he's the only one in the game at this point that you have to have both.
Karnak actually does make sense with him being 2 classes, because he does somewhat rely on a really heavy precision buff to do all the damage he does. But at the same time, he does evade reduction and ability reduction and shrugging off debuffs faster.
Yeah. Yep. I was anticipating him being the first. So, when is Comic-Con? Next week?
Yeah, I think so.
So since they're giving out Morningstar at Comic-Con, what do you think about? Do you think that they're going to do Morningstar the next feature, and Blade is going to be the end of the month?
I'm not sure. I feel maybe they would want the people who got her from Comic-Con to like have
a full month with her.
2 weeks of 2 to 3 weeks of just exclusivity with her. But it's Kabam. Who knows?
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter.
Michael says he only regens when he's below a certain percentage of health, so it's not going to be constantly draining. Let's see, where is that at?
It's not going to be constantly draining, but it's going to be draining everything you have.
Right, when below a percentage of health, but we don't know what that percentage is either.
Oh yeah, those are all can make and break them. Like...
Yeah. And he's going to be... this is the second champion, Vulture, the other one that I can think of, that he almost has a built-in training wheels for people who aren't really comfortable intercepting.
Yeah.
This danger sense, not danger sense, the auto block.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Which I'm not really a fan of auto block, but the intercept training wheels or parachute, if you will, is helpful.
His auto block reminds me of rhinos. Like his mechanics of you can't intercept them. Which I feel it's fine, because I doubt he'll have a long-reaching heavy or a long-reaching SP1, so you can just bait those two and kick him on his block. I don't think he's going to be a good defender.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely going to be an attack champion. Dr. Doob says, we've had one magic boss in probably our last 20 wars in my group, Crisis. Oh, okay, nothing but Dormammu's.
Yep.
Man, I should have... I got the one in ours down 50% and then screwed up. They're usually very aggressive. Once you get them power locked with magic, you just keep intercepting and pretty much do the whole... But this guy... He would not attack. I mean, it's just like very passive.
I hate it, yeah.
Very passive, this war. It's like,
and
what
then when
the heck?
When they attack, they do like a little uppercut.
Yeah.
And the uppercut reaches halfway across the screen. I love it.
It's like, I know this is MMXIV, but let's not change the AI just for them. But yeah, it's frustrating. Daniel says, Gran family adopted a dog who was trapped in a destroyed apartment. What? It's very kind of you, Daniel. If you wanted a dog, you could have taken mine, though. New auto block characters. Yep, that's a new dynamic, man.
Ashish says if Resonate works with Electra. Yes, it does. Yep.
Yep. Ashish, I actually answered your question on Brian's stream. I don't know if you saw that or not. It's still based on RNG. So Resonate is, you're not going to hit that, what is it, weakness or fatigue that Resonate. I think it's weakness. Okay. So you're not going to apply weakness every hit. I mean, it's still based on RNG. You got a percentage chance. So you could hit it, you could stack it, you know, activate it every hit. You could go a couple combos without activating it. So it's still going to be based on RNG there. But you'd definitely have a higher chance. I think you have a better chance of placing a debuff with Electra just with her L1. And so for me, I don't think it's worth putting the points in those masteries to get it for Electra when you can just place a bleed or a block break with an L1, and a parry stun counts as a debuff. So you could parry stun 2 or 3 hits, back off, parry stun 2 or 3 hits until you get your L1. So that's something to consider. I mean, you could try it, but I don't see it being something that you would want to run consistently. There are better places to use points.
Yep. I have observed some stuff about Electra and Black Widow. So I have used like Sig 99 Black Widows and Electras in Alliance Wars. And I feel after 12.0, the percentage that is written there is not really the percentage that is actually being played. Especially versus like a Magic. I find Magic to be proccing Limbo way less often with Voodoo's brother Daniel on her than that's supposed to only reduce for 50%. Than with Electra's 85%. I mean, it's just really weird.
So you think Voodoo is more effective than Electra?
Oh, absolutely,
for that.
And Voodoo can reduce the ability accuracy of immune champs.
What's up, Shar? Oh, Doc 82 says he uses Resonate with Magic. All right, well, ignore everything we just said. Listen to Doc. Yeah, that's interesting, Doc. I've heard of the strategy. I just don't know that I'd want to run the points there. I mean, because you've got to put them in equity before you can get to Resonate, which I've used in equity as well too. I think if you really want to get into good defensive champion. I think, like some champions, in certain situations, and this is just a very situational thing, that it's a good idea to run things like Max Despair, Max Inequity, Resonate. I'm actually gonna, when I decide to actually spend the units to do it, I'm actually gonna take my 440 Ant-Man into Labyrinth and fight Wolverine, and I think I can beat him with Ant-Man, with the right team with Quake and Hawkeye, double Quake and Hawkeye, to increase ability accuracy and maxed Resonate and Inequity.
I feel like if you do that, that's gonna be the thing that's gonna like just blow up your channel, just all over the place. He did it with Ant-Man.
Yeah, it can be done. It's gonna be a terribly long fight, but I'm convinced it can be done. Because you just need to have 6 debuffs on your opponent to completely shut down healing with Max Despair. And with the increased ability accuracy with the double Quake team, he should be proccing fatigue pretty consistently. On top of that, you're going to be with the Inequity, you're going to be lowering the attack so that, and with the built-in glancing and the fatigue, you're lowering the attack so that you're not taking too much block damage or parry damage. And then the Resonate's just going to be one more debuff on top of that to ensure that, help you ensure that you're not falling below that, 5 or 6 threshold to shut down regeneration.
I mean, at least 550 that Ant-Man, so it wouldn't take like 2,000 hits. But yeah, good luck, man.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm committed to take him to 550 yet. I might. I've got 7 Science Cats and not really any other Science champions that I want to rank.
With the announcement today of Gladiator Hulk not coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that also means that I'm tempted to use that one of my 2 Science Awakening gems on Spider-Gwen just out of spite.
I mean, she's pretty good, man. She hits pretty hard.
I like her. I like her.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for her L1, she would be my favorite spider. I mean, I don't have Tech Spidey, so I can't really comment on that, but I don't like the others too
Oh,
much.
I have Tech Spider, and I really despise him. He moves like a juggalo. Uh, so going back to the new champs.
Yep.
Anything else about Blade?
I don't. I think we've covered just about anything. Immunity, he shrugs off debuffs, so I imagine that's going to be like a rogue. But that's based on his current power, so it could be anywhere from a normal. I mean, if he's got 0 power, it could be a normal timer and then full power of shrugging off like a Blade or not Blade, rogue, or maybe Old Man Logan or Beast with a bleed, you know, kind of thing.
I just find it super funny that he relies so much on using specials for all of his damage, and at the same time, all his abilities rely on power.
Yep. So here's a question though. Does he bleed only on his special attacks?
Yep.
It doesn't say anything about his basic attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be like
Gwenpool 2.0. I think that, yeah.
His bleeds are going to have to be pretty long. I mean, he's going to... There's 2 things. I mean, he's going to pretty much be neutered against a bleed immune champion, which is, you know, makes sense as a vampire. But you're also definitely going to want to run maxed deep wounds with this champion.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
No new Hulk. Yeah, Doc, there was a picture leaked today with the Gladiator Thor on it, and Hulk was on the picture, but he just looked like the Hulk that's already in the game.
And the Gladiator Thor takes the spot of Gladiator Hulk in the
graphic, in the alphabetical graphic. Yep. Did you know how any more hours? Gran, do you know how any more hours from now till... Oh, how many more hours, H-O-U-R-S, from now till Inhuman Quest ends? It should be about 12 hours from now, man. See, next month is Thor Ragnarok, so unless something came out I'm not aware of... Yep, it was that graphic. I don't have it available, or I'd throw it up. So yeah, go ahead.
Morningstar. Yes, she sounds incredible.
She looks like a Power Rangers villain.
Oh, yeah.
My kids have been watching Power Rangers, so I saw her picture and I'm like, oh my goodness.
I'm gonna be hiding Power Rangers from my kid when he grows up, you know, to understand what he...
My oldest one is 20. My oldest son is 20 years old, and he used to watch Power Rangers, you know, 12, 15 years ago, and I hated it then. But see, we've got 2 young ones, a 4 and a 6-year-old.
So it grows on you.
And we've got my daughter's almost 17, and so she's introduced the little ones to Power Rangers, and now they want to watch Power Rangers all the time. I'm like, goodness, I thought I was done with this 15 years ago, but no, it's back.
Yeah. But yeah, Morningstar. I feel like she'd be the new and improved Ghost Rider for AQ.
Let's see. Is that because... Well, she doesn't really play stuff on her opponents, does she? She gains abilities for herself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So all attacks... All of her attacks, so light, medium, heavy, special attacks, she gains plus whatever amount of attack per soul she's captured.
Yep.
And this is... She can only capture 1 soul per fight. So if you take her into Alliance Quest, you fight 1, and she's going to be baseline, attack of 100. Next fight... She's going to be baseline attack of 115, and then 130, and then 145, and then 160, and so on. So, depending on that percentage, she could be double attack. I mean, if you run her every fight through AQ, she could be 200% attack
I feel like that's
unboosted by the time she gets to the boss.
I feel like that's just like an icing on the cake, that extra attack. Then she gets extra damage from the soul, capture souls off the special 2, I believe. And then she also gets new attributes. So I feel the lifesteal off of every hit that she does, is gonna have a chance to lifesteal. I feel that would be incredible. Like after five fights, and that 5 fights doesn't necessarily have to be 5 fights. If you run her with magic or guillotine, I'm gonna check back on the synergies for a sec.
Guillotine, she gains 1 if she has less than however many. With magic or Angela, her buffs last 20% longer.
So if you run her with guillotine, who is, I believe an extremely underrated champ on her own.
Oh yeah.
She's getting a buff with Morningstar as well. So if you run those 2 together, you're gonna get 1 soul charge at the start of the fight. And you're gonna get 1 soul charge from your awakened ability. So you can start the fight with 2, gain 1 on your first fight, and then by the second fight, you're gonna be at max potential, max soul charge. You're gonna be regening back off your basic hits.
She almost sounds like she reminds me of Ronin in a way. Then, 'cause this is based on her opponent's buffs. So with her signature ability, she siphons away a portion of the power from any fury, power gain, or regeneration buffs they trigger, reducing their potency and granting her her own buff. So she gets, if they get a fury, she doesn't take their fury away, she reduces the effectiveness of their fury, and she gains her own fury. And the same goes with power gain or regeneration. So that's interesting that she just reduces the accuracy of it, or the potency of it, instead of nullifying it.
This versus a King Groot versus a Hyperion versus a what is another buff heavy champ? An Angela.
Yeah.
That would be all just incredible.
Strong Mystic get stronger, the weak Science get weaker. Man, they've gotta have some science coming out soon, Alex. They have got to. At the rate they're giving me Awakening Gems for Science Champions, they must. What's up, Omega Mutant? Welcome. We're just talking with Kamran here about these the leaked abilities on these champions. Okay, so let's go through her step by step then. So we already talked about all attacks. We talked about the captured souls.
Yep.
When struck with a physical attack, she has a percentage chance to cause her opponent to bleed. That doesn't, yeah. I guess that's okay. And the bleed doesn't give her anything extra, does it?
No, that's just like a cable ability. Like if you bleed him or her, you'll degen. If you...
Right, but this is if you strike her, you bleed. So it's kind of like Electro. Yeah. If you hit Electro, you take energy damage. This one, if you hit her, you take bleed damage. So this could be, depending on how strong that bleed is, this could be a real problem in Alliance War defense. If someone doesn't bring in a bleed immune champion, they could get stuck here, depending on how strong that bleed is.
But then again, with the new setup of Alliance Wars, there's so many backups available. So at this point, I feel like one Morningstar, one like sneaky Morningstar somewhere, just like somebody notices her and like backs off. The backup comes with like a whole roster of bleed immunes, just takes care of it. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true. No, Zero Up, the game is not back up yet. We're at 2 hours and it is still down.
It does, however, takes into question the stuff that we gotta go through for the monthly quest. Because I'm planning on Legends running it again with Magic, and this is gonna be extra fun.
Oh boy, yeah. Now, I was thinking about your Legend run when they announced the soul boosts or whatever they are.
Oh, I'm gonna
You're
set
not going to
this
be able
up.
to take advantage of those, are you?
Kind of. It depends on how long they last. If I'll go through normal and kill the bosses there, and quote unquote sell my soul to get some extra boost, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like, if I get it, I get it. If not, I already have it.
Yeah.
Plus, I haven't spent units on this, so.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just a personal challenge.
Yeah.
So not anything on the line if you hit it or don't hit it.
Yep.
So okay, so 2 souls. If she has 2 souls, so if you have guillotine and she's awakened, you're going to start a fight with 2 souls.
Mm-hmm.
Special 1 triggers unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
Next fight, special 2 becomes unblockable.
And I feel like all of those are cumulative.
Right. So fight 2, you would have unstoppable on L1 and unblockable L2. And then fight 3, you would have those 2 plus you'd have energy resistance and perfect block chance, and then you add to that on the 4th fight percentage chance to lifesteal whatever. So that's kind of like guillotine's awakened ability. Lifesteal a percentage of the damage that you deal to your opponent. So that's interesting. I mean, I don't think that's anything too. I mean, other than the lifesteal, I mean that's okay. But the others, I could take it or leave it. I mean, the way I play, I don't really need the unstoppable, unblockable, but
yeah. I would also take the perfect block chance, but
yeah, if that ties in with the parry mastery,
I bet it would.
Yeah, to make her parry stuns longer, that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
So her heavy attack, chance to power gain, granting a percentage of max power per captured soul over 2 seconds, max 1 stack. So you can't like chain together heavy attacks basically and get more power gains. So that would be interesting if you had the perfect block chance. Well, that wouldn't matter because you can't. How would you do that? Is there a way to chain these together? Could you possibly, in fight 5, 6, 7, whatever? Well, she can only get 5 souls, it looks like.
Yeah.
Can't get more. So after you have that unstoppable on L1, depending on how much this power at 5 souls, how much power she gains from a heavy, you theoretically might be able to do a L1 parry stun heavy attack 5-hit combo L1 and just chain that. Maybe not even 5-hit combo, but L1 parry stun heavy L1 and keep her unblockable, well, not unblockable. I keep mixing those two up.
Sure, yep.
All right, so that's my point is moot there. I was thinking to stay. Could you maintain an No, that is right. I'm reading it right. Could you keep her unstoppable for an extended period of time if that power gain on the heavy attack is strong enough?
I mean, unstoppable in the game, it's like a really weird mechanic. You'd still take damage in it. I feel, even if you can, it's not going to be applicable to a lot of the AQ/AW scenarios or like Act 5 scenarios. You don't want to be rushing into stuff that you don't know or like a sure thing. But setting that aside, I feel so the SP1 only does more damage based on the souls. The SP2 nullifies, and it also does more damage based on their buffs, similar to magic. I still see her, and I feel she's gonna be an amazing Hyperion killer in AQ. And a great Juggernaut killer, because he gets Fury, and you get Fury, you get lifesteal, and like perfect block chance.
Yeah. So you really whether you use the SP1 or SP2, that's going to depend on your opponent, because the SP1 might actually be stronger than the SP2 if you're 6 fights in, and you're facing an opponent like Vision, who doesn't get any buffs. So, because let's see, her L1 is energy damage per soul captured. L2 is energy damage per active buff, and it nullifies those buffs. So obviously if you've got a group with 17 buffs active, then you're going to want to use your L2. But,
and L3 is just to steal buffs.
Let's see, L3, yep. Placing a counter herself. Damage to the opponent increases the counter. Damage to Morningstar reduces it.
Yep. And Doc82 is still asking about Gladiator Hulk. So they released the
Do you have a picture on that? Let's see. Do you have a picture on that? I thought somebody posted it in the line chat, Doc.
So there was the picture of the new champs coming out, and there was a spot for a champ that starts with a G, and Gladiator fit in there. There is a spot for a champ that starts with an H, and I feel Hela would fit in there.
And Hulk won't fit in there. H-U-L-K. It has to be a earlier vowel than a U, right? I'm trying to find that picture now. I saw somebody posted it somewhere. Maybe it was in a different chat. I'm looking in the wrong spot. Or not. Anyway, yeah, I'm not finding it. It was Thor. The picture was the Gladiator, Thor, Angela, Loki, and Hulk.
Hulk. Yeah, normal Hulk.
Normal Hulk.
Yeah.
Could be Hulk Gladiator. I wish it were. I mean, and he is the fourth one back, so you can only see the front part of his face. So, yeah, he's not going to fit in the alphabetical graphic unless they name him something else weird. But the chances of that, I think, are unlikely.
There's a one with an M on there. I don't know. People used to think it's Mighty Thor, but now it might be
Mighty Hulk.
Mighty Hulk. Oh, hello.
Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. Where would that be? I'm trying to find the fastest place to find it on Twitter. Probably not on the Marvel Champions site, Twitter feed, because they don't have those filled in. And it's been a few weeks since they posted it. Oh, here it is. Alright, so may have to resize it on the screen. Alright, so we have on this graphic we have Black Widow, and then the question mark is clearly Blade. We know that already. Then we have Ghost Rider, and a blank, and Green Goblin. Now this is where we thought Gladiator Hulk would be, but the picture clearly has Gladiator Thor on there, so this is going to be Gladiator Thor now. And then we have on this one Hawkeye, and then a blank, and then Hood, which we're thinking is probably going to be Hela. Some people are saying Heimdall. I think Hela is probably the more likely candidate. Then we have, let's see, Magneto, Medusa, Mephisto, Miss Marvel, Morningstar. No, question mark. We don't know that one. Moon Knight, Mordo, Morningstar. All right, so the one that we don't know right now is the one between Miss Marvel and Moon Knight, and the one between Hawkeye and Hood. Those are the only two right now that are up for questions. And Heimdall or Hela is likely between Hood and Hawkeye, and between Miss Marvel and Moon Knight, we don't know what that is.
Yep.
But there is no place for Gladiator Hulk, World Breaker Hulk, you know, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She says, done with war with mighty MMX. We are. We almost had him. Almost had him. We only lost by defender rating. Imagine that.
Yeah, if only. If only we didn't have to lose by defender rating.
Yeah. Have a complete roster for AQ and AW. Should I wait till I get a good 5-star or keep ranking up my 4 stars? I would say 4 stars are still worthy to be ranked. I'm selective of which 4 stars that I rank these days, depending on whether or not I'm going to be able to use them anywhere. But definitely at this point in your game progress, 4 stars are a must. Until you 100% Labyrinth, you're not going to have enough 5 stars to replace your 4 stars. I guess you can get them to rank 3. So a rank 3 5 stars comparable to some rank 5 4 stars. But yeah, I would not neglect your 4 stars. Heard Meek, is it Mayek or Meek will be in the next Thor movie? That's interesting.
Who's Mike?
He's an insect hero. I'm not really familiar with him.
I did not read that as insect. I read that as something from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think this is officially the longest maintenance I've ever seen.
Yeah.
On the game.
Pretty long. So going back to Morningstar, I really like the soul stealing mechanics. Like you beat the soul out of them. So you basically gotta get the SP3 on. So you get a heavy on, you get a power gain. You get the SP3 on, get the soul out of them. So you would have an increased damage for the duration of the fight if you don't already have 5 souls. And yep, you just set from there.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't think of that because generally you get a soul. Okay, so you get a soul from a synergy. You can get a soul from a synergy or from the signature ability. You get a soul when you beat a person or beat an opponent at the end of a fight. Fight is over, KO. You get the soul. SP3 allows you to take that person's soul.
I don't think you get a soul from beating them. You gotta SP3 them.
You have to?
Yep. That's Mephisto that gives you a soul when you beat them.
Okay, I did not catch that. Where did it go?
I think you are in Mephisto now.
Yeah, I just scrolled back down. Over the course of a quest, Morningstar's weapon captures souls and stores up to X of them, empowering both her capture souls travel from fight to fight.
It doesn't mention anything about it.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, I had just assumed that you capture the soul for every fight, so you have to use your SP3.
Yeah.
Morningstar can capture only 1 soul per fight. So there's only you have to use SP3, and there's really only a need to use it once, and probably the first one that you use. Well, what happens if you're fighting somebody that's not very strong? You know, you're.
I feel that's fine again. Like if you're using the synergy and the duped ability, you would just end up being at 4 souls for the next fight, and then
at so those are cumulative.
I would assume so.
Well, with guillotine it's not. It's if she has fewer than however many souls she gains 1.
I feel that would be fewer than 5, so it wouldn't just go over 5.
Okay, so that would depend on what that number is, but yeah.
It's a cooler number because soul's not soul.
Kind of like Hyperion, if he doesn't have a, you know, he's gonna gain that power gain until he, you know, he's maxed or whatever. And then her signature ability, where'd that go? If Morningstar has less than, she gains 1. Okay, so there is a possibility there. Okay. good. Alright, so are we ready for Mephisto?
Also, one last thing about Morningstar.
Oh, let me scroll back down.
Not necessarily in the thing. So, since, you know, the ladies of the MCOC, they're always like the hardest hitting ones with like the highest base attack. That gives me extra hope about her, because she's already gonna have a high base attack and accumulate more base attack with the captured souls. So I feel
that gonna affect Labyrinth timers?
I don't think so, but I feel she wouldn't, like, she would just probably be over 2k with 1 or 2 synergies.
Yeah, most females are, right?
Yeah. Even Spider-Gwen. Who would have known?
Yeah. I'm telling you, Spider-Gwen, the secret counter to LOL Juggernaut.
You with Spider-Gwen, you just enter Labyrinth and you do 1 SP1, just backflip straight to Maestro.
Yep.
That's 100%, yep.
But no, I could see, you know, take her into that trap spider mode, heavy attack. You know, not gonna get hit.
Wait, does she not get hit, or does she get like somewhat of an unstoppable there? Does she still take damage?
She doesn't get hit. She avoids the first hit.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yep, you can put her into trap spider mode. It's trap spider mode, not hunter spider. Put her in trap spider mode and charge the heavy, and she ignores the first hit and lands the heavy. So yeah, you could use her against Juggernaut. I don't know that it would be a great idea, but you could.
Oh, that's a great idea. Don't even worry about it.
I don't know that I would want to try to use her to get her to, you know, Juggernaut, but you could. Hey, good news, the game is back up, but you know, by now I'm not even going to bother with it. Let's finish this up, and then Brian's going to be on in about 12 minutes or so.
Yeah.
What's up, Quickshot?
So Mephisto. I feel like it's just going to be another Dormammu with just as much BS on defense, but really solid utility on offense.
Yeah. So poison immunity.
Incinerate immunity, and he gets benefits from Incinerate. He is also Cold Snap immune, Frostbite immune, so, you know, Iceman isn't going to do much damage to him.
Alright, so I'm looking to see where those are. I'm just reading down the... Okay, power gain. Let's see, it's... so poison immunity, that's the base thing. And then energy resistance for the duration of damage over time debuffs. So... I wish Kabam would be consistent with energy damage. Like Limbo. I mean, like, Ultron doesn't absorb, you know, a lot of forms of energy damage.
Direct damage according to Kabam.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's just the first example. There are others that Ultron does not absorb that are labeled as energy damage. But, so he's gonna, it's reduced energy damage. And then, but that's typical for Mystics anyway.
Yeah.
Power gain generates a percentage of a bar of power per second instead of taking Incinerate energy damage, and immune to Frostbite and Cold Snap. So he's basically, he's an anti-Iceman. And he's going to not be immune to energy damage, to Incinerate, in the sense that he's still, it sounds like he's still going to take the debuff, he's just not going to take damage from it, he's just going to gain power from it.
I feel...
Does that make sense?
He would just take the debuff, but not take any damage from it. And
right, so the debuff's
push.
going to be applied to him, but instead of causing damage, it's going to like, increase his power bar.
You'll get willpower from it, but you wouldn't get any damage from it.
Right. Willpower and power bar, power meter. Yep.
Yep.
And so he's got persistent charges too, like Morningstar.
Yeah.
But he gains them by knocking out an opponent, and he's got a max of 2.
I feel that's also a placeholder.
Okay, yeah, that's I wish they would use something else besides 1 and 2.
I agree.
Put X or Y or something.
Yep. And then there is just the constant looming fire of incineration. Just if you go in a fight versus Mephisto without a Mephisto, or an Iceman or a Vulture, you would be taking just constant incinerate damage.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Goodness, I wish Ghost Rider was immune to incinerate.
I mean, he's burning in fire, man.
Yeah, burning fire. Yeah, but you know, whatever. So basically, Iceman is a counter to Mephisto. Mephisto is a counter to Iceman. You know, fire and ice kind of thing. But yeah, anybody else, if you go in there, I mean, I suppose Agent Venom could shrug it off, or, you know, Rogue or Blade might shrug it off sooner. But most of your opponents, you're going to take this damage. But the difference here between him and Iceman has a timer associated with it. I don't see a timer associated with this one. It's persistent. So is this over the full duration of the fight?
So it does say something about if we go through the abilities. If we get down to the signature ability, he is gonna be activating the aura of incineration around him if he gets hit, and I feel it's gonna be similar to a Green Goblin situation where if he gets hit, it's gonna be a low chance to activate it, like a 10%, 20%, and then it's gonna be for a few seconds. It's on a timer. Yeah. And then if he parries someone, it's gonna be 100%. So you know it's gonna have both defensive and offensive utility, which, depending on the damage of it, I feel it would be incredible. And depending on what it means to be nearby other opponents.
Right. But see, it looks like he's got two different kinds of incinerate. So and I said it didn't have a timer associated with it, but it does have a percentage. So I guess it's just when that percentage is done, it's done. The persistent fire. But he also has a fire aura, so that's two different things. So it sounds like persistent fire is at the beginning of the fight, like Cold Snap would be, and then fire aura is when Aura of Incineration is active, he gains power through this, and they take Incinerate, so that would be like reapplying the Cold Snap. He's also got, so he's got power gain, he's got heal. When he's below a percentage of health, he regenerates a percentage based on how many charges he has, again maximum of 2. He does not take damage while consuming his persistent soul charges through this ability. So, depending on how long that takes to consume that charge, it doesn't sound like this is an instant thing. It sounds like it's, you know, he's consuming the charge for as long as a regeneration buff is active, maybe. And so if it's like over 5 seconds, you've got a 5-second window where he's invincible.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But you can lose these soul charges. Can you lose them with Morningstar?
I don't think so. You can just not gain them.
Yeah, so if you were to get KO'd and revive, I imagine you'd start back at 0.
So yeah, Mephisto has 2 ways of losing them, with the SP1 and the regen. But I feel if you want to ramp up your damage, you want to keep as many soul charges on.
Right.
And I feel the persistent fire debuff damage, whatever, I feel because if you're fighting him in defense, he's not gonna have the maximum number of soul charges. So it's not gonna be that much damage.
Yeah. Hopefully. That auto unavoidable damage at the beginning of fights is definitely frustrating. Yeah, he seems to be the most complicated of the 3. Or at least there's more to sort out here.
He does have power management with the SP3. And he also has with the SP2, I feel he's gonna be doing quite a bit of damage.
So what's the SP2 do? Incinerates? Basically, that sounds like Agent Venom.
Yeah. So, and like reading the descriptions for all of the special abilities, I feel the animations would be pretty cool as well. Just looking forward to all of those.
Yeah. Reduces chance to activate buffs on Soul Prison at the start of the fight. So basically, he's got several things at the start of the fight that you can reapply with SP1, SP2, drop and blow, health, whatever.
And he does come with a buff to Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, at least they realized that something had to be done there, right?
Yeah. I actually really like using Doctor Strange. I really liked... so for a while before 12.0, the whole meta of using Doctor Strange in war came up, and how he could counter evaders. And I feel like he still can, because that SP1 basically gives you just a really long uptime on an iframe. Like, you would be doing SP1s after SP1s.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to use him all the time. I mean, he was my go-to in Alliance War against Spideys and Electros.
Yeah, like,
what's up, high speed?
That ability is pretty cool. But then they nerfed the health gain, so you wouldn't be gaining back the, you know, sometimes really significant chip damage.
Yeah.
That you would otherwise be taking. But yeah, I do miss using Doctor Strange. I feel like I would rank 5 him if Hood and Guillotine and all of these new champions didn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, he's still as strong as he was. I mean, his attack, you know, has not been nerfed. It's his regen and his power gain.
His damage has been nerfed too. The SP2 used to hit like 10k level 2s, but then...
Well, I wonder if that isn't indirect, though.
That is indirectly through nerf of armor break.
Yeah, right. The diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Yep. Game is up. Yeah, I know, Lord Hibby, it is, but we're going to be wrapping it up here in a minute anyway. Brian's going to be on pretty soon, and I usually bow out when he gets started. I did want to mention one other thing here, though. We see the Soul Seeker. You mentioned it doesn't say who it is with. But it's Soul Seeker doesn't specify the trigger champion. This is the first instance of a unique synergy that does not have an effect for both champion and the trigger. It seems like a half step between the old synergy design set. Synergies triggered affects all champions. Synergies triggered affected all champions. Synergies could be stacked. And the new design set. Champion and trigger benefit from this synergy. Synergies cannot be stacked. Soul Seeker appears to be triggered by an unidentified champion, but only benefits Mephisto. Also, since the language is singular rather than plural, this will probably be +1 persistent soul charge.
Or it can be with the unreleased champion, like a champion that's coming in the future.
Yeah. Quick Shot's telling me to get an Alliance quest. I will, man, just a minute. I'm heading that way. But yeah, I mean, they did that with Mordo, right?
Yeah.
Because Mordo, I mean, they didn't even label him as a villain at the time because they didn't want to have any spoilers or whatever for.
Oh yeah, because nobody knew. Who would have known Mordo could be a villain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it was fun talking with you, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for jumping in the last minute and kind of I was started the stream thinking, okay, what am I going to do here? But yeah, so you kind of bailed me out here. So, all right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow night if we're available. Well, if you're available, I'd love to have you hang out with me once again at about 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. And until then, this is Gran and Kamran Fathi smoking it down. We'll catch you guys later. See ya.
Yeah, man.